Okay, so we're going to start with the loops going at the back and then threading through from the front. That way you get that nice line up that runs along your dowel or your driftwood, which I think looks better aesthetically having that on that side. Got the long ones in the middle, the shorties on the outside, just to save the waste on your cord. Don't put too much pressure on yourself for that at the start, because it's really hard when you're in the middle of a project and you run out of cord. So if in doubt, just cut it longer. Rule of thumb is to have it 3 times the length of what you want your final product to be. If you're using more knots in your project, allocate 4 times the length. So here we're just doing the square knot. So you're going to do one of your outer cords over the top, and then the other opposite side is going to go behind and loop through. I don't know how good verbally describing it is. It's sort of something that I figured out visually. So yeah, you're just seeing then that repeat, go back and forth, and then you make that kind of nice even square and tighten it up. There's always going to be a lot of tugging and pulling. Don't be scared to pull around with the cord and get it looking how you want it to look, and always checking in that everything's even and straight. So here we go, we've got the 2 inside cords. We're going to use that outer working cord, go over the top, and then bring that other opposite side around the back and through that loop. Tighten up, Bob's your uncle. And now do the opposite side, same. This is real fat 5mm cord to work with. The thinner you go, the more intricate the project is and the more timely it is. So start with a wider cord to be nice to yourself. And yeah, so you've got your first row of square knots here. Start sort of reasonably not too close up to the driftwood, because you got to like plan where you want to finish it. So give it some nice length in your piece and in your design. So now that we've got our 4 main square knots and we've connected all those 8 loop cords, we're going to marry each of them. We're going to drop those 2 outside ones, and they've done their job for the day. And now we're connecting those 2 right hand square knots, and we're bringing in 2 from each of them and then making another square knot. Same again, using those outside working cords. Oh, so we got a little bit of bead action. So you're not unraveling your cord where you don't want it unraveled. I sort of twist it really tightly and get it through that hole, and then that way you can thread and get the rest. You could tape the ends and thread it through like a needle. That's one way. I decided to do it that way today. So I'm giving you 2 options of how to finish it. This is called a twist knot, which all it is just a half square knot repeated. So you're actually just going to be bringing your outside working cord from the same side and repeating that row after row, and then it starts to create this really pretty twist design. So originally when I finished this piece, I finished it with 2 sort of hanging twist ends in the center of the triangle, and then I thought it was just sort of not, I thought it was too heavy on the bottom, but Dad liked it, so I kept it that way. And so what I did is I finished it, showed you that complete, where it's just got a lot more heavy design at the bottom, and it is cool. And definitely my first wall piece I did do a thing like that, but maybe I've got fussier as I've come along. So there's that option. It looks super cool. Alternate on the other side what direction you bring your working cord in for, and then that way they can twist together. So this is just me showing you another option of how you can finish the piece off. You've done a nice sort of drop half diamond, and you got those beads threaded through, just having them sort of sunk down a bit low, that they're lining in with that square knot of that final center square knot. And then just using those square knots again to hold the beads in place. Just looks way nicer than doing some sort of double hitch knot, which, you know, would end up looking a little bit lobbed and bow out and sort of break the rhythm of the lines dropping down. So just doing a square knot on that side, picking your placement, holding those beads in place. Now the trimming. I always like to just stagger it a little bit. It doesn't have to be super even. Straight lines get kind of boring. It's almost like layering with haircuts. It gives it a little bit more body and volume at the bottom if you have like sort of uneven lengths. And all I'm doing is untwisting sort of about an inch or two at the bottom, and then using, it's actually a pet brush, but it's really good for macrame, just getting that those ends nice. And yeah, you've got sort of like your rules of the 2/3 at the bottom, and then a third down, and there you go. You got your wall piece.